The Raiders lived through their worst nightmare about 9 months ago. They didn't need to relive it Sunday in Denver, but they did. Derek Carr was lying on the turf, twisted in pain, and it looked ominous. Last December, it ended up being as bad as it looked, the diagnosis and the consequences for the Raiders. Their Super Bowl hopes were left in the hands of Connor Cook. It ended the way it was expected to. On Sunday, it was still up in the air whether Carr was just suffering from back spasms that would clear up soon, as coach Jack Del Rio said afterward. There's a chance that in 24 hours it will be chalked up as a minor scare, unless it's not. What was certain was that Oakland's hopes were again placed in uncertain hands, this time at Manuel's. In the end, he drove the Raiders to a field goal, he burned their final timeouts way too early, he was cursed by drops of perfectly catchable balls, he threw a late interception to douse their last chance. That's about what was expected from him, too. The Raiders lost 16-10 and join one of the weirder collection of 2-2 teams in recent years. Of course, the reason wasn't as obvious as down goes Carr, taking his team with him. The Raiders weren't lighting up the Broncos as it was, they managed 7 points before Carr was helped off, and eventually into the locker room, with less than 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. They broke down in plenty of other areas against a team they have to get past just to get out of their own division. They couldn't run the ball. Amari Cooper and Jared Cook dropped crucial throws. Michael Crabtree's absence was glaring. Marquette King pulled a double bonehead move on a poorly planned fake punt and a dumb personal foul. Trying to block Von Miller looked comical at times. A lot of that is just a function of playing the Broncos defense, but a lot of that has handed the Raiders throughout an uneven start, too. They looked jet-lagged, or whatever else makes one lethargic in front of crowds 3,000 miles from home, against Washington last Sunday night. In their 2-0 start, they averaged 35.5 points and 384.5 yards. In their 2 losses since, those averages are 10.0 and 191. But shaking that off is a lot easier when Carr is there, as opposed to Cook or Manuel. All of the AFC West's big three are capable of deep runs in the playoffs, but unless something catastrophic happens to the Chiefs at home Monday night against Washington, the Raiders will be on the outside looking in just a month into the season. They'll also be the ones most unnerved about their quarterback, which says a lot considering Trevor Siemian is one of the three. Siemian has not done enough wrong for the Broncos to worry about him. He has not been their weak link. The Raiders' offense has sputtered far more. It's still incredibly early for a Raiders team that should be good enough to contend, as long as Carr is actually coming back as quickly as the optimistic Del Rio says and is not repeating.